So, if you're interested in learning to develop your intuition because you're hoping that you'll suddenly have the answers to everything, I can save you some time and tell you that you won't. And I can tell you that from experience. So, um, there's some of us, myself included, um, one of the reasons I started to learn to develop my intuition was because of my indecisive nature. I honestly didn't know how people made a call on, yes, I'm going to do this, or yes, I'm going to go here, or whatever. I could see there was so much I wanted to do and there was so much potential. I just found it incredibly hard to make choices and to know if it was the right call or not. So one of the reasons I started working with my intuition was for that, was to help me decide on stuff, big and small. So this is a recent example for you. I've been starting to set up some workshops, and I needed to make a decision on what dates I would choose. So I was feeling into the dates. I was doing a bit of muscle testing, but I was also noticing the response in my body, which is how I do it, and looking at the different weekends that were available on the spreadsheet for this particular venue. And one of the things that I noticed was I just couldn't get a read. It just kept jumping around, and I thought, what is going on? Because sometimes, if I'm trying to pick my travel, for example, and I use the same technique, I'll usually get, even on a weekend when I think perfect, right timing, right weekend in between this and that, and yada yada, and I'll get a firm no, and I won't know why. And that happened not long ago. I was booking tickets for London and I got a really firm no. And I thought, well, okay, I've learned not to ignore it, so I won't book on that day, and I chose a different day. And then I remember that there were massive strikes all over the UK, like train strikes during that window when I would have gone. So that for me was a hard no. Whereas picking these weekends, it's just moving all over the place. So I saw my friend who I go to for channeling, Becca, and I see her to help me kind of get some of these details down when it comes to making decisions for my business, actually. And because that's the thing, is even though I'm an intuitive and I get loads of useful information and guidance, I'm still in the wood. I still have the woods and the trees situation going on. So we don't always know everything. Also, because this is coming to my point, there can be different potentials. That's what I learned with Becca recently, was that I'm able to tune in to different potentials. So there's a future potential where I pick these 3 weekends, and that's one thing. And there's a future potential where I pick these 3 weekends, and that's a different thing. And it seemed to be that none of them had any massive consequences. But I think when there is a certain date that you need to be somewhere, say you're going to meet a certain person, or there's something important about that date, it will usually jump out at you. But with this, there wasn't, so that's something that can feed into not getting the correct information with our intuition, is that there are different potentials open to us, and you're not drastically going to fall off a cliff if you pick one path over another. So no major warning signs. And the other one is, I had this with a client the other day. If you're a planner, if you're a logical person that likes to make their 5-year plan, and okay, I do this and then then the universe isn't going to help you with that, with your intuitive awareness, because there's some things that you can't see, that you just don't know are going to happen to you yet in terms of your development. So I remember switching gears with what I was doing in terms of my healing work, and I used to do shiatsu. I had my child, and then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore, I'll go into EFT. Now I'm this EFT, NLP, hypnosis person. Fantastic, let's figure out my niche. And then I got to a point where I was like, oh, okay, I'm attracting highly sensitive people, this is what I do. And then I got further down that route, and each time I went to start to create a program or think about going deeper, I thought, okay, I'll work on boundaries, and I just kept getting a hard no. I thought, what is going on? And it was because there was another stage, and then it was revealed to me, no, actually, you're this intuitive, you're meant to work like a channel, doing channeling. And actually, further down the line, by the way, you're going to help souls with a mission to figure out their mission. I was like, hang on a minute, that's, my ego and my logical self was like, no, I help highly sensitive people now. And they're like, no, that's not the only thing you do. So it's important to stay open. You know, if you're not getting firm answers, it's probably because there's more coming. And there's, you know, with me, they will only ever show me so much because they know that I'm going to want to make a 5-year plan. So I have to be flexible. I have to, you know, make plans knowing I don't have all the answers. You know, I've only got I booked these 2 weekends and the information isn't there yet, but I know that I'm being told I just have to deliver the first and the rest will come. And so I'm having to, you know, take a big gulp and trust and just do it. And each time I do, you know, the evidence is it is okay. So I've talked on then. So yes, decision making. You don't always get all of the answers you want, and that's okay. Like, that makes life interesting, and it's that actually there's more coming to you that you're not privy to yet, or that you're not ready for yet. And that again is just feeding in to our need to have faith and to have confidence that even though we don't know right now, that it can be coming, that the information is coming. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll be back soon.